You're listening to WDKR at WDKR.org, internet-based radio serving Cherokee County, Alabama. This is the Matt and Todd Show with Big Matt and Diamond D.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to WDKR and the Matt and Todd Show. We got Big Diamond D sitting over here and Big Matt right here. Tonight we're going to go over the reclassifications for 2020-2021 Alabama high school football, what it's going to be affecting this coming year. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. We thank Shane for all the hard work that he's put in. We thank everybody for listening in last week. It's greatly appreciated. We hope y'all are having a good evening, good Sunday. Let's get right in here, Todd.
A lot of changes, a lot of big-time changes. Shocking, don't you think? Some of them.
What's not shocking is Hoover being the largest school in state with 7A.
No, that's not. They have been for a while, and that's why they're ranked nationally a lot of years. They've got so much to choose from. And they've got good coaching and good talent, too, but still.
And they haven't been as good as they have in the past.
No, they did not. They didn't win it this year. Did they win it? I don't think they won it the year before, did they?
It's been a few years for them.
Yeah, he still has several state championships, and they're still a power, but seem to be tailing off a little bit and not quite as dominant.
I think I'd read in a comment somewhere, I was looking at some numbers on schools a few years ago when we got moved to 2A. I think I'd read that Hoover, 9 through 12, had like 1,500 students. Does that sound about right? 1,500? That's a lot of kids.
10 through 12, right?
Yes, the high school.
Yeah. Over 2,000 in the high school. Yes, that's a lot. I mean, I graduated with 38, so. Yeah,
I think there was 28 of us. Mountain Brook went down to 6A, but they're the largest 6A. Southside, 5A, they go up to 6A. So looks like Southside and Mountain Brook will be in 6A.
I don't think that'll help Southside much.
No, I agree.
They've struggled a little bit in 5A. They have had some good teams. You remember the year we went and watched them play Fort Payne? They had a very good team that year, and but I don't. They seem like they've gone down a little bit, and that's not a good one. They've come back down to 5A, then they go right back up to 6A. I can't imagine that being in their favor.
What about Gadsden City?
From what I saw on the region, read that region off again.
It's Hueytown, Hoover, Thompson, Spain Park. That's their region. Looks like Region 3, 7A, which is, it don't seem like they could be very productive. They're just basing it on the past of how they played this past season. Not saying that they are not going to get better. They may bring in some new coaches. They may have some new kids coming up and can win a game or two. But they could have, what you said before the show we were talking, they could have a good team and maybe only win a game.
Yeah, exactly.
And be pretty good.
Be a very strong team and go over in their region play.
Now, what about with the 6A, with Mountain Brook and Southside there, Fort Payne, they're going to be in Region 7 with Oxford, Pell City, and Springville, and Arab.
Oh, boy, Oxford. You don't want to. I mean, they're coming off a state championship. They're loaded with talent.
Are they bringing back a bunch? I don't know anything about them, really.
I don't know. I don't think they're bringing back a lot. Obviously, they're bringing back some, but I think their key players are moving on.
All right. A little 5A snippet here, Crossville, Douglas.
They needed to move down.
Region 7.
They've
Center
taken
Warriors.
a beating in the 5A.
Yes.
I mean, we can agree on that, especially Douglas.
Yeah, that was a competitive region. They come out of there, you have teams playing late in the playoffs in those regions. Center stayed kind of what they had been. Anniston, Munford, White Plains, Hanley, Jacksonville, but
that's a tough region.
But they grouped them in the South. That's what I read on the HSAA website that day, and then went on and read some other articles, some sports stuff on some other local stations. They're in the South region. Why? When people are asking why would Center be grouped with the South region, that 4A, Region 4?
Now say again, who are the teams in that region?
Cleburne, Anniston, Munford, White Plains, Hanley.
Well, Anniston's obviously a tall order, and Hanley's in and out. 1 year they're great, the next year they're not so good, and you know what we just saw at Jacksonville playing for a state championship. That'll be a tough
Region 5.
That's a tough region.
in that same bracket, looks like, is it Etowah, Hanley, Dora, and Fultondale?
Well, I tell you, man, I think Etowah moving to 4A is about as good a news as they've had in the talent since Carnell Williams left. I mean, going to 4A, I mean, they've been 5A or higher my whole life that I've watched football. Now they're going to 4. I think they're going to be a tough 4A team. What's your feelings on that? I mean, I see them going very deep.
I would agree. They'll definitely be a semifinal team.
I would think they'll have the opportunity to be. I mean, they've always played 5A ball. And look what we've seen come out of there. Carnell Williams, Patrick Nix.
That Hillcrest team, well, I'd seen them down at the JSU camp. They come out of 4A. They're back. Looks like they went to 3.
So that was the team that beat Randolph County. Do you remember a few years ago when we went and watched the great comeback Randolph County had against Piedmont?
Yeah.
They went on to the state championship, and Hillcrest Evergreen is who beat them in the state championship. Then they moved up to 4A. So, yes.
They got some big kids, man. I was down there in Jacksonville. We went there and watched Cedar Bluff. You know, that Hillcrest team has some big kids.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, her last year in 3A, they played for the state championship in basketball and won it in football. So,
them.
I mean, you're going to have
back to 3 from 4.
That's tough.
That's advantage them. Speaking of 3A, this Region 5, which we'd read today, how Hokes Bluff has moved in this Region 5 with Ohatchee, Piedmont, Sachs, Walter Wellborn, and Weaver, Pleasant Valley, Glencoe, Hokes Bluff. So they have their rival, I guess, will be back, we could say.
Right, with Glencoe, but they've been hammering them as of late.
But Region 5.
That's a tough region.
Bro, that's Ohatchee and Piedmont and Sachs.
Yeah, and you got Walter Wellborn, who just made the semifinals. And Hokes Bluff's got to play with this, and they just lost. You know their running back, Darian Meads.
Yeah.
He rushed for 8,000 yards. He just graduated. And I don't want to say they would have been better off in 4A, but that's a tough road to hoe for them. I mean, you got Piedmont, Walter Wellborn, Ohatchee. Sachs wasn't good this year, but 3 or 4 years ago, Sachs was one of the best teams in the state.
Yeah, they were 4A.
When they were 4A.
Yeah. Region 7 now, everybody knows Fife Red Devils. They're Region 7 in 3A with Plainview, Sylvania, Collinsville, and Geraldine. Some teams that they know from their area.
I don't see that posing much of a... I do think that Fife, the playoffs is going to be a whole different animal for them.
When they start playing cross regions with teams that dress more players than they do, when kids don't have to play both ways. And Fife plays some kids both ways. Because he's definitely going to play his best 11, whichever way it is.
Right.
But that scheme on offense, the veer, or whatever you want to call it,
wing tee,
the Benefield shuffle, whatever you want to call it, it works. They're just 3 yards in a cloud of dust all night.
All night.
I was right here on the sideline. We're playing over here at Cedar Bluff, and we moved the ball. We're moving the ball down the field on him, and he just calls a timeout and goes out there and just moves some players, telling them where to go. He tells them no more, and that was it.
Really?
Yes, that was it.
We didn't move the ball anymore.
Not really. He adjusts on the fly so well. So my point is, coaching is going to carry him far in that region. Will they win the state? Will they be thumping people 50-0 and blowing fireworks off the top of the mountain like they have for years? Me and you've been following him for years. We're fans of theirs, and he's a good coach. No, I don't think so.
I do think they'll go deep.
I agree.
And I think the regular season will be. I think they'll run the table.
I don't even know if they lose one. They lose one of those in that region.
Well, see, they've got 20 starters back.
And they just won back-to-back.
They just won back-to-back with 20 starters back. And, obviously, we're thinking with Piedmont returning everybody, or most of their players, we're thinking a matchup between them and Piedmont in round 4. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people think that would, Piedmont will win that. But we saw them 3 years ago play for a half.
We did, and they were dead even. It was even, and they both played their game. It's just that offense, man, that he runs up there. It's tough to stop.
And no, they ran up and down the field. Now, they had to work for it. Piedmont, it wasn't just 25 yards here, 25.
No.
But it was 5 yards on first, 3 on second, 3 on third. There's your first down.
It was a great game. I'm glad we got to go to that. Region, moving on to 2A, There's a new team come in. It's called Orange Beach. Of course, they're in the South. They're in Region 1.
Where's that at?
They're in the Macos. And that's not an orange. That is a shark. I seen a guy on the commentary. I'm just having a little fun with a guy on the website there that said he thought
that
the Mako was an orange. That's a shark.
No, that's a shark.
I mean, I'm just a
He's thinking about
I'm a history major by
What
degree.
is he thinking about? I don't know.
I don't know. A Mako is not an orange.
Mandarin, maybe.
A mango.
Mango, maybe. I don't
No,
know.
Mark.
That's funny.
All right, Elba back from 1A, Region 2.
And an Elba 1-2A.
BB Comer from 3A, Region 4. And Lynette will be 2A in Region 4 also.
Well, Lynette, we obviously know they can compete in 1 and 2A.
So Lynette, BB Comer are going to be Region 4 for 2A. It's tough. It'll be good. Those will be some good ball games.
I would think BB Comer would be pretty good in 2A. When I was growing up, BB Comer was huge.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on down there. Not real familiar with that area. I know it's in Sylacauga, but their numbers are obviously down. And, they may be hard to deal with in 2A. But, yes, Elba, they beat 5 for the state championship.
Yes.
They played back-to-back. 5 went to the state championship back-to-back.
Yep.
Won it in 14 and went and played for it in 15. Elba beat them.
I watched that on...
They played each other both years.
I watched it online that year.
Yeah.
It was a good game.
Good game.
Pretty
Elba's
much.
won several state championships.
Region 6, the Gaston Bulldogs are going to be swinging in there with the guys from Spring Garden, Westbrook Christian, West End, Cleveland, Sandrock, and Locust Fork. So this Region 6 is going to be your Spring Garden Panthers.
Who have everybody returning again.
And Sandrock. So those are your close teams by Gaston, Spring Garden, Sandrock. All Region 6. So we could assume that Spring Garden will do good in that area.
And Locust Fork was a 4A 5 years ago.
Really?
And now they're a 2A. And that's going to be tough to compete with. I'm not going to sit here. I don't know what they've got coming back. I know Spring Garden's got a lot coming back. And I know Westbrook Christian's usually pretty good.
They just have a quarterback down there of some sort that can throw the ball. I think Spring Garden will do good. And
I think Spring Garden will be
they'll
fine.
make somebody in the cross region in a 2A, like a round 3 or 4.
It's going to be tough for them, even with their veteran players, I would think.
Yeah.
But I do think they will still have a good year.
I do too. Jason's done a good job. He's turned things around over there in the past.
He's done a great job over there.
5 to 7 years. It's been
predominantly basketball school.
Yeah, it's been a big turnaround in the past 5 to 7 years.
Oh wow, yes, yeah. 2-11 in 2 seasons, back to back.
That's good.
Yeah.
1A, Region 2, it's going to be kind of the same thing. We know Sweetwater, they won their first title in 1977. Those guys put it on us down there when we went.
Yeah, they're good.
We played them down there.
I don't know if we could have done anything about it either.
At Legion Field. And we had a good team. And those kids were just big and fast. It was so cold that day. And
yeah, I don't think, I remember an old story that they had beaten the 4A champion or 4A runner-up that year.
Yes. They told us at the game. I talked to a guy down there at the end of the fence. I was standing there at the end zone. And one of their fans was over that way. And we just, me, I'll talk to anybody about anything.
Right.
And he said they had beaten the 2 and 3A. They were down 20-0 at the half.
And come back
won 21-0 with that team. And I said, what do you feed these kids? I mean, they're
21-0 second half, 21-20, right?
Yes.
Yes.
He said, maybe he was joking. He said there's a lot of forestry down there, and they drag wood and they work sawmills and stuff.
Really?
The kids. They have summer jobs. That's what they do. So I don't know. Maybe he was kidding. I don't know.
Well, they've never had a bad team that I can remember.
Todd, I was born in 1977. I'm 42. That's when they won their first title, their first high school championship, whatever you want to call it back then, because it was different back then.
Mm-hmm.
That's 42 years of plugging around in that 1A. In competitive advantage of how the speaker of HSA spoke about, I don't know how have they not ever bumped a 2. I guess just the numbers.
I think
they're just small.
You're talking about that competitive balance thing. And a lot of that, that's just dealing with private schools, is it not? I don't.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if they're going to use that term, I mean,
yeah,
if you got a team that's just not
dominating, I do agree with you that that maybe that competitive balance rule should apply to public schools that are just dominating.
42 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and they hadn't had much trouble competing in 1A.
Maplesville, Region 4, Donahoe, Raglan, Woodland, and Region 6 is Berry, Hubbardville, Meek, Pickens County, and Marion County again, which we know plenty about them. So those are going to be.
Watched him play one time. That was exciting.
Yeah, me and you and
Scott Clifton.
Me and you, Bun, and Scott went. And,
Which we'd ate down there.
They had a place called
The Place.
The Place.
Yeah.
And Bun wanted to go there and get some ribs.
Yeah.
You know, and I almost even talked into it. They had a Krispy Kreme stand. Remember that? Over there in the corner on the other side.
Great game. Great game.
It was a
like
good game.
40 to 30. I mean, it was just
it was a good game.
Long runs all night. It was fabulous.
Decatur will be Region 8, Hackleburg, and of course R.A. Hubbard. They're still hanging around. Cedar Bluff is back down. They're going to be Region 7. And of course, looks like our foe is going to be Valley Head, as it always kind of has been for a long time. They always put together a good team. Ever so many years, I remember keeping up with them when Stump played. The big kid at Valley Head.
Oh, Stump Gregory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, he was great. He was just a big kid. He was tough. He could tackle. He could run. Those old rivals that we had there. So those things will be back. I think Valley Head's bringing a lot of kids back.
I think that, every now and then they'll just have a fabulous team. And, they've had some really good players over here. When I was in school, they had a guy that supposedly is the fastest guy to ever come through DeKalb County. His name was Anthony Brown. I don't know if he was or not, but he could fly. You get on the field with him and you realize there was some truth to
not just fast, but game fast.
Oh man, he could book it. But Valley Head's got a good tradition over there. And I talked to Gillsville's coach today, and he has 18 starters coming back.
That's good.
And
they had a big, bad injury bug. I mean, and they didn't have a lot of players to begin with. And then on top of not having a lot of players, the ones they had got hurt.
Right.
So he was very, very crippled. And they didn't have a good year this year, but you kind of can't hold it against them.
No,
because of
definitely not.
situation.
They lost their quarterback.
Yeah. And they may be bringing in this kid there that's been to school there for a little bit this past year.
He's supposed to be very good.
Yes. I think he'll be a great addition because I've seen him throw it. He throws it over here with us at Bible school this summer. I'm telling you, he can throw it. So how do you feel about that Region 7 also added Summerton Christian, which I've kept up with them a little bit this year. They only won like a game.
They're down now. I know 20 years ago you didn't want to play them.
They didn't.
You did not want to play them.
I think they just won one out of region game. I don't think they won a region game. So they're added in that Region 7 with Cedar Bluff. So how do you see Cedar Bluff doing in that region?
I think they have a good shot at winning that region.
Gillsville, the same type of Christian.
Good shot at winning that region. We
so.
returned a lot of starters, too. We did lose some players. We lost a quarterback, lost running backs, but they've got a good group of running backs coming back.
Yep, there'll be juniors. We got a good junior class coming back. Like you're talking about the running back, we'll have a new quarterback. Both our receivers are going to be there.
Right, got some linemen back.
We'll have the same left tackle.
Same center.
We'll lose a right tackle and a left guard. But we got some bigger kids that's moved around and played really good last spring.
Now defensively, our secondary's back. Defensively.
Yeah. Yeah, the linebacker stuff, there'll be some moving around because you're going to lose some on the line down.
We lost some at D line. We lost Bailey.
Yeah,
and he was a very good player.
I coached him and Pee Wee over there.
And the Hammock boy.
Yeah,
they were both very good. But like I said, you have a secondary return, and we got two leaks, Ombre and
Alexander.
I mean, cover's a part of it.
Experience is great.
You don't want to be able to get burned, and when you can keep that from happening, you can compete.
They will be big up on the line. I think they'll be pretty good. So I think we'll do good in Region 7.
I think so too.
That's the last bit of our coverage for local stuff. So we'll take a little break here, and we'll be right back to talk about some of your recruiting around the Southeastern Conference. Thank you for tuning in at WDKR. This is the Matt and Todd Show. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. WDKR here. It's the Matt and Todd Show. Diamond Dean, Big Matt here, and we're going to dig into some 2020 recruiting classes around your Southeastern Conference and maybe a few out of the conference. So, first, I would like to add that I have seen this little piece of information out there on the old interweb. 26% of kids signed early. This is the 2018. It went to 77% because of this early signing day. There's more kids signing early by a large number.
When is the official signing date? The last one. I think it's sometime in February or early January or mid-January.
Yeah. Maybe
late January, early February.
Wednesday,
it's 77%.
And today were the 3 early days.
Right. That's pretty remarkable that many.
We want to give let's see, if we'll start from top to bottom, we got Clemson, Bama, Ohio State, Georgia made a jump up pretty good, LSU, A&M, Auburn, and Florida. That is not moving around, guys. That is 1 through 8, straight up. Also, honorable mentions, I guess you would say. Other than that, see, Tennessee, it looks like 18. South Carolina
did well, yeah.
Mississippi State was like 20. Kentucky 23. Ole Miss fell from 37-44. I watched them. This is on the 10th. I made a note here. On the 10th, I was watching some of their recruiting for Ole Miss because they got Lane Kiffin's at Ole Miss now.
I'm anxious to see that. I'm anxious to see that.
And he knows that just recruiting and from Florida to here, it's going to be a big difference. So
he's a good recruiter, I would think.
I think so. He can sell something. Lane's been in actual football locker room since he was a kid. His daddy,
Monty Kiffin. Yeah.
I mean, he's been everywhere.
Which obviously we make no bones about it. We're SEC fans, but boy, I see something right here that I don't like. 6 5-star players going to Clemson.
Come on, man. Dabo is growing them guys down there, up there in the rocks somewhere. 6 5-stars. Look,
6 5-stars.
Now,
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Alabama had
3
5-stars.
Ohio State 2, Georgia 2, LSU 2.
So it's like there's 1, and then there's everybody else.
Wow. I mean and
serious.
he's obviously developing the talent there.
Yes, I actually sent a number since you brought that up. Let's see here. Clemson and Ohio State are the best matchups by numbers since where did I write that down? Since the 2006, was it
USC
Texas game.
Right.
Matchup.
The big Vince Young game.
Matchup wise, there were some numbers out there on it, and I just remember seeing that earlier. I thought that was very interesting. This is the first time that two big of a rated teams of how they completely dominate their opponents. They ranked them this way. Their numbers are nearly identical. So if that game, if Clemson Ohio State game turns out like USC and Texas, Vince Young trotting in the end zone over there in that corner.
Right.
That's one of the great. Look, you can look up right now. All right, fans out there. Well, you hold your phone, listen, you can go on here and type in top college football games of all time.
That's one of them.
Take 3 sites. I did this the other day. I took 3 different websites and wrote down top 10. That game was 5 on one, 6 on another, and 8 on another. You see what I'm saying? None of the other games were kind of the same from 03 Miami's, and they were kind of up there in the 5s. And, of course, like the old Nebraska teams. But, guys, what I'm saying is, if this game turns out to be like that one, this will be one of the greatest games ever.
It could be. And I'll tell you something else. If you're tired of Clemson, you might as well get over it.
Yeah, I agree.
If they got 6 5-stars,
they're
going to be here a while.
It's about matchups. Some of football is kind of like boxing. Yes, the other guy, he may oversize another guy, another boxer smaller, but it's about matchups. How does that guy match up with the other one? And this is what it's about. When you got that many big-time players, and he's, like you said, he's developing the players.
I mean, he's 50 years old, too. I'm not taking nothing away from Nick Saban, but he's 67, 68.
Yeah.
Dabo's 50.
Right.
And I did see where Alabama finished second and got us a real good quarterback in Bryce Young out of California.
13,000 yards.
13,000 yards. That's 3,000 a year.
1,000 rushing. 13,000?
That's a few.
That's a couple of miles, ain't it?
I don't think we've ever had anybody in this county throw for 13th down.
That's amazing. They flipped Jace McMillan, a 4-star running back, so he's number 18 in the 300 running back. They also flipped a kid from Oklahoma team. He was from Texas. The Chris Braswell, wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Sanders is a 4-star kid, looks like. 6'5", 232. This is the guy that may be flying under the radar a little bit. And everybody's going to talk about Bryce Young. But this Drew Sanders kid, 6'5", Todd, 232, listed as an athlete. Go on 24/7, guys, and read about this guy, Drew Sanders from Texas. He's listed as an athlete.
So that means he's got a receiver, running back.
His pros and cons on his
kick
list.
Returner.
His coach says that he played quarterback, receiver, tight end, on defense. He plays everywhere: corner, safety, linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
This may be a good addition.
And
to
he
the
played
team.
high school ball in Texas.
Yes.
So
that's big for them.
That's like playing in a small college anyway. And but Georgia, how about Georgia and LSU? Do you expect them? I mean, they're still right there. But I'll tell you the one I'm interested in the most.
Georgia jumped 2 spots in a couple of days from 6 to 4.
So expect them to be in this playoff hunt, in this national championship hunt for years to come.
Well, they've been top 3 for the past 3 years.
Right, and they've been right there in the mix every year.
Alabama's been 1 or 2 the past 8. And that's what it's about. You got to be able to be competitive. You got to have those numbers.
Well, everybody's tired of the SEC, I'm sure, outside of the conference. But as long as you have this, Alabama 2, Georgia 4, LSU 5, the SEC conference is going to be strong. And I'm anxious to see A&M. Fisher's getting his feet wet there. This will be his 3rd year.
They're 6. They
Sixth
had,
in recruiting.
10 4-stars. They had a guy, King, at QB that they brought in. You was talking about Georgia. They flipped a wide receiver that was from LSU. He runs a 4.4 40. He's a 4-star player. Jermaine Burton.
Mm-hmm.
When you get kids to flip out of LSU, that's big. I think Bama had a guy flip out of LSU. Auburn had a kid named Eric Reed. Yes, guys, I said Eric Reed. Eric Reed from Louisiana.
Not the same one.
Flipped from Louisiana and goes to Auburn. He's a safety.
Right. You got 4 teams there in the West in the top 7 in recruiting. In the West.
Auburn flips a guy from Miami down there in that area. And if anybody's ever reading stories, I picked up a story magazine in the dentist office one day. It's called the Muck Bowl. M-U-C-K. Look it up, read a story on it. Very interesting. It's a small little town down there in Miami where it has to do with something about where they dump out these coffee grounds. And it's this area where all these kids play football. Like half the houses down there don't have power or water.
Right.
But they play this thing called the Muck Bowl that has some of the best talent in the nation right there on this field. Auburn picks up one of their guys. His name is Romella Height, linebacker. 4-star, 326 in the 24/7 pick list. And they picked up a big lineman. Auburn picked up some guys on defense. From what I just kind of went through there, seeing what they picked up, they got some defense. I think Gus has filled the spots they needed to fill. They've got a quarterback.
Right. For that 3 years, probably.
And they picked up the guy we're not going to leave out is definitely Big Tank.
Oh, Tank Bigsby.
Bigsby. What a name, guys. Tank Bigsby. Does he sound like a running back or what, Todd?
Yeah. 2,200 yards as a junior. Now, he was banged up a little bit this year, but they still went to the semifinals, and he gained 230 yards in that game.
In the game.
So
Auburn's going to do well with this.
He can go. And you want to see something impressive, type his name in and go to images.
I know, his neck, man. He looks like a racehorse. This kid
you're like, is this kid 24 or is he playing high school?
I don't know, man. He's got to have like a 20-inch neck because I wear like a 20-inch something inch chain. And that, man, this kid he looks like a football playing machine.
Yeah, I would expect, and nothing against. I do think Booby Whitlow's good, but I expect to see Tank in the backfield some next year.
His notes and the coach's notes were his biggest upside was they see an area for him to be able to move right into the pros.
Wow.
But I mean, he's going to have a 3-year stint and he's gone.
Yeah. I'm excited about him playing there, and I'm, being an Alabama fan, not really excited about LSU, A&M, and all these teams doing so well in recruiting, but Alabama's still number 2.
But they had a good. Nick said this, and this makes good sense. He said, all these recruiting bases can put these stars on these players, but let's come back 3 years and see how they done.
Right. And all of them won't make it. We know that.
Yeah.
And 6, Clemson had 6 5-stars, and there's a good chance that 3 of them don't pan out.
That's true.
I'm sure some of them will. There's not a chance. I don't think that none of the 6 will pan out. That doesn't happen. But
if Dabo gets 3 of his 6 to pan out, that's fantastic. So it's about being able to get those dudes to come out and play and to develop them. But can they keep their head right? Because when you're a small school and you're the guy, and then when you walk on to college, you're a small fish in a big pond. So can they handle that pressure of keeping their grades up?
A lot of them can't.
With girls and running up and down campus and doing, stuff like most guys do at that age.
A lot of things come into play that were not there when they were in high school. But Clemson, they've won 28 straight games, and now they've won the recruiting war and got 6 more 5-stars coming in.
They're on the tear like Bama was back years ago when we were running through everything like that.
Right.
What about Tennessee? They had a Tyler Barron, a 4-star defensive end.
And they also got a 4-star quarterback, did they not?
Yeah.
I think, Tennessee improved a lot over the year, and I just think things are going up for Tennessee. I'm not going to say they're going to win the East. They got to get by Georgia and Florida. But I think I think we're fixing to see the best Tennessee teams we've seen since Fulmer was there.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's got them on the right track.
I think he does too. And, it comes down to these teams are going to be good, but it comes down to, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, whoever gets coached the best now.
Yeah.
And
well, Muschamp looks like he's put together. Were they 19? Looks like.
Yeah.
So he's going to have a pretty good class. Kentucky come in 23rd.
Yeah, the guy does a good job there at Kentucky. Not a lot, like we talked the other day.
His whole family's coaches, man. His
Not a lot
dad,
to
his
recruit
brothers. Their whole tree.
And I noticed, Matt, that which the reason this is interesting to us is one of our close friends is a big Nebraska fan. They were 20th in recruiting.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And had 25 3 and 4 stars.
10 4-star players in Nebraska, 15 3-stars.
And
wide receivers, tackles. They got a good running back that's come in from around there.
Third in the conference, behind Michigan and Ohio State as far as recruiting went.
Yeah, and if you're third in that conference, Ohio State is.
That's a tough conference. Now, there's a lot of debate if it's better than the SEC. I don't know. We'll find out.
Ohio State's third in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
And Nebraska's right behind them in that conference. So, give Coach Frost a chance to build something up there. I think he'll do fine.
Which they obviously are going to give him a chance. I think they signed him through 2026.
That's good. You got to these days and times. You want things right now so fast because it seems like since Nick has been at Bama, they've set such a high goal and expectations. Say that fast 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Expectations to win every year, and even Bama fans, we talk about this, before the show. You expect to win, and these teams, like these top 5 here, Clemson, Bama, Ohio State, Georgia, LSU. When you get a class, you're going to be expected to win that.
Right.
So now, Ohio State comes in right behind Bama at 3. C.J. Stroud is a quarterback they like. They're really excited about him.
And they've done well with their quarterbacks lately.
Right now, Stroud is the fastest rising QB in the country. They beat out Georgia and Michigan for him. He's from California, and there's another. I'll make a note about California later, listeners, because there's some things going on out there that we're going to talk about here in just a minute.
Wow, what you told me, it's very interesting. And about California. But I did notice 2 teams in this top 20 mix, or top 25 recruiting mix, that are never in there. And it's going to be interesting to see how they do. And that was Maryland and North Carolina.
Did you know that Maryland flipped a player named Rakeem Jarrett from Louisiana?
Right.
From LSU. I'm sorry. He's not from Louisiana. He was going to play at LSU. This guy's a 5-star wide receiver.
He decided to leave LSU and go to Maryland.
Yeah, he pretty much had signed with LSU. He leaves the idea of committing to LSU and going to go to school and play at Maryland. But he's from D.C.
He's from D.C., and I heard more story on that he was kind of lobbying for players in the D.C. area to start going to Maryland. So
that's what it takes. And those kids that stay at home, which everybody brags about LSU keeping kids at home. And Coach O, this team is they're in the semifinals, and more than likely we assume that they're going to play for the national championship. We assume they'll beat Oklahoma. See how Oklahoma's got some players out, and they had some players hurt, and LSU's running back. He's tore a hamstring supposedly. I don't know if that's just fake news by Coach O, and he's just trying to keep Oklahoma on guard. It's not real.
And that stuff goes on. We get players this time of the year. We get players suspended for team violations, players hurt, and also we've got this other dilemma we got to deal with now. Players just taking themselves out, which Alabama is already suffering from that with 2 players.
Yes, I don't know how I feel about that.
I can kind of understand where Lewis is coming from. If he's going pro, if he feels like he's going to get drafted, he's missed 2 whole seasons. Terrell Lewis and Diggs missed a year. So, but my understanding is that Lewis is going to be drafted. I don't know where Diggs is going to be drafted at. So, it's just kind of interesting. And I know Georgia's got some linemen. Has a lineman not playing.
Well, here's the way it is. You do have to weigh out your evaluations and what you're going to be playing for. And in the day, years ago, don't seem like it was that long ago, there's a real camaraderie with the players because a lot of them were from areas that they played together.
Right.
And I think now in the past few years, because of media, phones, internet, for example, it's so wide stretched that, Alabama's starting running back this year, Najee Harris from California.
From California.
Yeah.
Right.
And the starting quarterback that's going to be taking over for Trevor Lawrence, DJ Uiagalelei, he's from California.
That's a tough name. I'm glad you pronounced that.
Well, I probably butchered it pretty good. But I think that there's some type of home feeling that you have to stay with your buddies and play at school. But it's not that way anymore because there's so many players from other places. So, one, you see players get hurt, blow their knees out, and they don't want to get hurt because they're playing about money. And now these things, even to tie in video games with it, I'm not trying to ramble too much, but it's about money. And the video games was using their likenesses, and the kids weren't getting paid. That was a problem. Shut the game down. Now kids feel like they want to get paid, so why do I need to play in this last game?
Right.
If I get hurt, I'm not going to, get paid.
And I'll tell you something else I found out, Matt, is I see no way. I've heard suggestions, pull their scholarship. Well, so what? They're leaving anyway. Fine them. Really? They're getting $20 million. Yeah, you can fine them. I see no way to stop it. No way to stop this.
Speaking about bad news, as I was talking about earlier, about West Coast teams and all these players leaving the country of California, I think it was 15 players.
Top 15 players in California.
Are not even playing in California. Their best guy went to Oregon.
None of them's going to Stanford or Cal or UCLA or USC.
The Ducks have picked up the Justin Flowers kid from Upland, California. He's inside linebacker, 6'2", 225. And they've got 2 5-stars. Looks like the best ranked Pac-10 team is Washington at 14.
Oregon's behind them, right?
UCLA, Cal was at 34.
How did USC do?
They're not even in the top 50.
See, I don't understand that.
Yeah, they're having a complete meltdown out there. Utah, it showed they were at 50 the other day. Okay, they were at 50. Now, that was a few days. I hadn't seen Utah's latest.
I think Utah does a lot with what they got.
I agree. Well, they got a good coach. And they had their chance to win that game out there, and they just did not play good against Oregon. Oregon played good, and they didn't.
We've watched Oregon this year. I watched them lose to Auburn. Felt like they should have won.
They had a chance.
And Arizona State beat them. But when their back was against the wall against Arizona State, they marched up and down the field like there wasn't even a defense out there. But it was too late. So, yes, Oregon does get some very good players. But so Washington beat them in the overall recruiting game.
Yes. Well, they got a good coach. And I think what he's selling out there, people are buying.
I think but is he not leaving?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I'd heard rumor. I don't know. We need to check. hold off on that. We need to check on that. I think I heard that Chris Peterson may be leaving Washington.
Yeah. So, and man, if they're changing head coaches and they still,
Still finish 14.
That's pretty good.
Oh. But I'm anxious.
Was he going pro?
I don't know.
Was it a pro team that I heard?
There's so much changes right now. There's so many changes. And that's another thing about these bowl games. A lot of people do bowl pick'ems.
Yeah.
And they get things wrong, but, there'll be 10 teams that'll lose a coach. They'll have to play without their head coach. So it's going to be very interesting, but 15 players, none of them going to any California schools.
No, I don't.
And I saw where Baylor was in the 50s in recruiting. And they're one game away from being in this Final Four.
Yeah.
They would have been in this Final Four if they had won that game against Oklahoma.
It felt that way. It felt like they had put them in there in a spot to, okay, win, and we're going to put you in. As they did Utah. Utah was there. Utah was right there.
Right.
But after Oregon lost, it's like, okay, this is your chance. Beat Oregon tonight, and you're going to.
Oh, they were in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pressure is tough, man. when the the time is up and the chains are tight and it's time to pull hard and fast, it's hard to win some of those big games.
But it's also obvious to me that some of these teams overachieve. And you got to factor that in when talking about it. Just because Clemson's got 6 5-stars, we can't pencil them in for the next 3 years.
You would assume that they would be. They're definitely going to be competitive. They're going to be a top 5 team.
But yet again, it's the same teams. I mean, it's Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, Georgia,
LSU.
LSU.
DJ Ugalele.
DJ
Ugalele. This is the quarterback headed to Clemson. We're kind of
we're
having fun with this name.
He'll follow Trevor Lawrence.
Yes. Oh, I heard something
who
about
followed
that.
Deshaun Watson, who followed Taj Bowl. I mean, it's just ridiculous what they've got going on.
This is not me. I read this. I read a lot of stuff that Trevor Lawrence to sit next year and not play, to wait and go pro and just do workouts and have a combine at his own place.
I don't like that at all.
Now he's not said that. This did not come from Clemson. This was on a Saturday down south. Some writer speculating what he thought.
That may be what he just thinks he could do, but I don't see that happening.
Maybe it's just something to talk about.
Surely not.
Which is good because it gives us something to talk about.
Well, it gives, when people say Tua's coming back, I don't think Tua's coming back.
Decisions. Did you see that?
Right.
He don't have nothing to prove. I understand. But as a fan of the game, again, I've said this.
Well, of course, we hope he comes back.
I would like to see him play again, to play a good, full, healthy season, to see where he would lay. And I think it would help his stock. If he come back and be healthy, and if he comes back and gets hurt,
he's done.
That's going to be a problem.
Or he could be done.
Yeah, and that's the gamble you take. And do you want to play with your buddies? How tight a group do you really have? And it's just different.
Well, let me ask you, Matt. You play college football. If you play college football and you're on a good team, go 10-2, and you get to the Citrus Bowl or the Outback Bowl, whatever, and it's not one of the major games that year, and the running back you've been blocking for all year decides that he's not going to play in it, do you harbor hard feelings toward him?
No. As a 42-year-old man now, no. Because, I got too much good and happy and Jesus in my heart. But at the age of 20, man, no, I'd have been mad.
Right. So you
at
see
that
how
age,
these kids.
I do. I understand. That's why I was saying earlier, it's a toss-up, man. It's how do you feel like you need to do things? Are they sound-minded kids?
Mm-hmm.
Or they have a good background? Or are they just doing it to get paid? And if they're doing it just to get paid, I don't think that's a reason. I think the money's always going to be there, but you only have these short times in life to play college football. That's what's great about college football,
right,
because you don't feel like it's all gambled on. You don't feel like it's all these numbers is involved with it. It's a 14 playoff, and they're talking about going to 8, and I think that could desatisfy and desensitize some of that.
Yeah, I believe they're moving towards the 8.
It's probably going to happen.
And I've noticed that they've got 2 weeks in between the national championship game and the Final Four. That's a perfect opportunity to slip another week in there.
I don't know.
And I think it would cause a lot less debate and make things simpler if they just went to 8. Me personally. Because nobody's going to be out there hollering, well, we're 9. Why are we 9? We should have been in. I don't think. It won't be as bad.
We got a side notes we're going to do after the show. We're fixing to wrap this up here. We got some just off-key topics from NFL or NBA, just a topic or a question or two about each of those things we're going to kick around. So we appreciate y'all listening in for our top 25 recruiting stuff and kicking all this around. We hope y'all are enjoying us. We sure are enjoying doing this, man. This is great. God's good, and I'm proud for all this to be able to happen. We thank Shane again at WDKR, and I think we're going to wrap up with this with the high school reclassifications and all the top classes in recruiting. And looks like you top classes again is Clemson, Bama, Ohio State, Georgia, LSU, A&M, Auburn, and Florida. So we're looking forward to the bowl games that are coming. The Excellence Bowl game.
There are 2 today?
Today.
Yeah. I don't know much about them.
We're recording this on Friday, everybody. I know you're going to hear this on Sunday. So between now and then, there's going to be some more bowl games, and we won't have another show till after Christmas. Which
probably after Christmas.
The next Sunday.
Yeah.
So God bless everybody. Merry Christmas from us at the Matt and Todd Show. Diamond Dean and Big Matt's going to sign out on our regular show, and we'll be right back with some side notes. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you.
What's going on, everybody? It's still Big Matt. It's still Diamond Dean. This is after the show. We took our shoes and our jacket off, and we got our shirts pulled up, and we're eating peanuts and flipping raisins across the floor. This is the Matt and Todd Show side notes. We're going to talk about just 3 or 4 little topics here. Here's a question, and we would like some response. Go on our show. We got a Facebook page. Go comment on there. Send me a message. Send Todd a message. Some of you people have our phone numbers. Message us about these questions. What do you think? We want to spark some interest, some ideas, what everybody else thinks, because we're definitely not right. I'm an idiot. I'm just
we're not right. We just have opinions like everybody else.
Absolutely. I'm just having a good time, man.
I mean, we may not even. Somebody may be listening to this and going, "These guys don't know what they're talking about."
What do we got here, Dean?
All right, so. This is the first question to pose. We got 2 great ones in the league right now that are getting ready to their career, we think. Yeah. They may be quarterbacks when they're 50. I don't know. We're talking about Tom Brady and Drew Brees.
Tom Brady and Drew Brees.
And also, you got guys like Phillip Rivers. But when they leave the league, are we going to go to more of this style of players like Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, who's rushed for over 1,000 yards?
He's had a good over the season, man.
Deshaun Watson, who can run the ball. Russell Wilson. You've got all kinds of guys like that in the league now that are not more. Just pocket passers.
Back in the day, in the 90s per se, like we talked about one time about Randall Cunningham. Mm-hmm. He was that guy. I remember Steve Young and Warren Moon, being those people. Mm-hmm. But now...
You just got several of them.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott.
Everybody. Okay? I mean, Cam, come into the Panthers, doing that way. He's not having such a good season now. So,
no.
So what our question is, when these guys take off, man, when Tom Brady and Drew Brees is their last game, hoorah, and you're watching the big game, Monday Night Football on TV, Drew Brees passed Peyton Manning's all-time touchdown record with 541 touchdowns. When those guys retire... What do you think? Are we going to see more Lamar Jacksons? Can it survive? What do you think about it?
Because they're going to be quarterbacks like that, just pure passers.
Where's the QBs like, your Heisman winner, Macaulay Culkin? I mean, Joe Burrow, he kind of looks like Macaulay.
He does.
I'm just kidding.
He looks like a kid up the road here, too.
And we need to say, too, about the speech. What a fantastic speech. And his speech raised, I heard over $3,000 or $300,000 was brought in up there at Ohio. To feed for food banks.
Right, just because of his speech.
Yes, that's great, man. God is good, and He blessed that young man to say that. And that's great.
I think he looks like Keaton Gilgrove. I'm serious. I think he does. I told Keaton that.
Yeah, he's got that, that smooth-looking hair.
Yeah, he favors it. But they're great. He did a great job, and I do think that he'll be a successful pro.
So he's a pro-style quarterback, right? He does take off and run a little bit. He's kind of Tom Brady-esque. You feel like
he's more of a pro style. Yes, definitely.
So that's the question we're kicking around there. When those Tom and Drew leave, is Lamar Jackson style players? Is that what we're going to see from now
To be honest with you, let me say this.
Okay.
I think we may see more of it. But with that being said, we're going to see less of this dominating, and if you see more of that, you're going to see less of this unbelievable receivers. I'm talking about catching 100 balls a year, 1,500 yards, all that stuff.
And you're going to see less 6 foot tall, 275 inside linebackers.
Right.
You're going to see 6'3", 210 because they're going to have to be able to run sideline to sideline.
Well, you got a bunch of running quarterbacks right now. I mean, like we said, you've got Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, obviously Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson. And they're all good. They're all very good. And it looks like to me that Seattle and Baltimore may be playing for it.
It's very likely.
And Aaron Rodgers, he is a great passer, but he can run too. You got to be aware that he can run the ball.
If you leave him out there in the middle of the field, he sees 10 yards daylight between him and first down marker, Aaron will take off and dig off him. All right, here's what I'd ask. This is just something to talk about again. Something to bring up questions. What do you think? Yes, no, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Or yes, you agree, or whatever. Like I said, we're just two guys having a good time here.
Right.
Is this LeBron's last season? Oh my God! Why would you say he's the greatest ever played the game of all time?
Yeah.
And then you got other people that's going to say, "Oh God, Michael Jordan, he's played more seasons. He's already passed Michael." I'm not talking about comparing him.
Right. We're not getting into that. We're not opening up that Pandora's box.
No, I'm just saying, is this his last season? It seems like he is playing like a madman right now. LeBron is on a tear. He's playing great.
He is playing
he's
good.
playing like he played the first year he went down to Miami. He's not doing any kind of load managing like Kawhi has been doing some load managing.
Right, like that's sitting out games.
So it seems to me, only my opinion, which is worth nothing, it seems like he's on such a tear that he's trying to make a
one last run.
Last in full-hearted impact
and
on
if
the
they
NBA.
win it, he's going to announce his retirement.
He can go out and say, look, guys, I give it my all this year. Let's just say he wins the MVP if he beats Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm assuming Giannis would probably win it. I'm just assuming.
Or Harden, with his 68 points a game or whatever.
Him and Westbrook.
Greatest score we've ever seen in our life.
Absolutely. And Westbrook beat Oscar Roman, had more triple doubles, and it's crazy the numbers. So the thing is, do you think LeBron, is this his last season? Have you noticed how hard he's playing? Does it play into factor that is he playing so hard to say, quote unquote, this is my last run? I had a good time. If he wins it this year, this will be his step out the door. I don't know.
Well, personally, I will say this. I don't think so because he's getting very close to Kareem's scoring record. Now, he's still not quite there, but he's within
striking distance within a couple of years.
Yeah, 3-4 years he could get that. And he may hang around for that. That's a coveted, 39,000 points.
Well, man, Kareem was he's the greatest ever player. He dominated the league for so many years.
But LeBron's over 30 now, over 30,000. You average 25 points a game, you score 2,000 points a year. He can play 4 more years, including this one, or 3 more after this one. He can possibly get that.
He wanted to play with his son. That's LeBron's note. Side note, LeBron wanted to play. And most everybody, all y'all already know that. So can he hang around, those few more years to be able to play with his kid? That would be great. I'm not saying I want to see him leave, so don't side note me on that or jump on.
That's a good question. Now, is this it for him? Is he trying to make one last run?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are saying they've got a chance.
But man, they're good right now. Ain't they won?
They're pretty strong. Them and the Clippers, and
they're
very, very strong.
Like a 7 or 8 game stretch.
I think they have the best record right now.
They hadn't lost a game until just the other night. The Clippers beat them. No.
Well, they're loaded either way.
Yeah, and they only lost the last game just here a few days ago. So
it could be a last stand, and maybe if he wins it, hey, I'm done.
He'll be a 4-time champion.
4-time champion.
Played 10 finals and have 4 rings.
At least 10. Yeah.
If he goes this year and wins it, though,
that'd be 10.
Be 4 out of 10. All right, next topic here.
All right, 18 playoff.
No.
18 playoff.
No.
Would it cause the kids to load manage during the regular season? Because you could lose a game or two and still get in. Obviously, the top 8, you can lose 1 game and get in.
I don't like it.
Would kids, the question is, would this lead kids to maybe sit out a game that wasn't so-called very important.
Now, I don't like it because I think it takes away from the luster of being a real number one. Yes, if you come in at number 8. Yes, if you drive and dig and work hard and you can beat those other teams and you get in that bracket and you win it, yes, you're a real champion. I'm not taking away from that. But it just seems like it would be a little less shiny, if that makes any sense, if that's a real word.
And you think it'll cause more people sitting out ball games, resting?
Will it? I'm just saying because we see it. Look at Kawhi.
It could.
I mean, I'm just using him because he won the championship last year.
Right.
And they talk about him a lot. There's a lot of players that load manage. I'm not picking on Kawhi.
And football hasn't been doing that yet, but this could lead to
Could
it.
it start it? Because you could think, okay, I'm Najee Harris.
Yeah.
And
I'm not going to play against
I'm not going to play against Ole Miss. We'll probably win this game without me.
We're a 27-point favorite.
So I'm going to say my stomach's sick. I'm going to set this game and rest.
Right.
It's possible. I don't know.
It could cause it. It could cause it.
I'm just throwing out a topic, and y'all please go on Facebook and comment and tell us what you think about it.
The only reason I like the 18 playoff is to pipe down some of this arguing because, we debate constantly over this 14. And it would cut that out.
Well, if we couldn't argue about the 18 playoffs, then we'd have to start talking politics, and I ain't doing that. So I'll just stick with arguing about 18.
We'll stick with a 4. Yeah. We'll just stick with a 4. And another thing that we were, this isn't actually a question, it's just some other bowl games that we feel are pretty interesting that we did not discuss the other day.
Underrated bowl games. What's some bowl games that you guys like? Hey, hit us up on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Go on there and message us. What is your underrated bowl game? Something that nobody's talking about that you feel like is your favorite. Maybe you have a favorite team. Maybe you love, whoever it is. What bowl game are they in, and why do you like that? The matchup. I like the
Which
Alamo
one do you
Bowl.
like? You like the Alamo?
Look, man, Utah and Texas. It seemed like they were both on their way. Utah, of course, a little better on their way. They were sitting at the back door waiting.
Oh, man, they were one game away.
Yeah, just get in.
Get in.
And Texas started out with such a great year. You expected so much from them.
Mm-hmm.
And
after beating Georgia last year in the bowl game.
And fumbled, and they fooled around here.
Had some injuries.
And, they didn't finish the year good. So, I'm interested in seeing Utah and Texas play, which they play the 31st at 6:30.
They struggle on defense. Texas struggles on defense, but I like their quarterback, Sam Ehlinger. I do like him. And I'm anxious to see now. Texas played LSU very good, and they also played Oklahoma very good. That's Utah, 2 of their 5 losses.
Utah's got the running back, Zach Moss. He's rushed for a little over 1,300 yards. I want to see how Zach tears up on, because we all know Texas's defense is not great.
I thought that said Zach Mobbs. You remember him? He's from Galesville. I don't think that. No offense, Zach. Zach was a good player, but this is Zach Moss.
Running back at Utah. Y'all keep an eye on him. Y'all tune in the 31st at 6:30. See what this cat does. I think he's a good football player. I'm looking forward. I think Utah takes Texas.
I agree with you. I think that'll be a very good game. One I'm interested in, and not for the reason you think. Not because it's necessarily, and it may be a good game, is the Cotton Bowl, Penn State and Memphis. I want to see if Memphis is for real, because Penn State's pretty good. Penn State played Ohio State to the.
Let me ask you this:
to the wire.
I didn't know these were his picks, by the way. Me and him. This is a Side Note Show. Thank y'all guys again for tuning in. WDKR Side Note Show. He's picking his underrated bowl is the Cotton Bowl, Penn State, Memphis. So.
You don't hear a lot about it.
If Memphis loses 33-30, is that a win for Memphis's program?
I would think so, because everybody says they're not a Power 5.
Yeah.
They don't have no business.
Why are they doing put them in the Cotton Bowl? That's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's a win. Anything close. Now, if they get blown out,
46-14.
It's not. That's why I'm interested in this bowl. I think it's very interesting.
Now, what do you think about Wisconsin and Oregon? They play in the Rose Bowl.
Man, I just think that's going to be a great game.
Rose Bowl's always had good
Wisconsin,
games.
you got the best running back, one of the best running backs in the country from Wisconsin. Oregon, boy, they just got a lot of speed. And Oregon is very close to being in this playoff. Yeah. I mean, they fumbled twice against Auburn inside the 5. And Nick's threw a touchdown with, 20 seconds left?
Yeah, if they beat
just
Auburn,
threw it up.
if they beat Auburn and they win their conference, I mean, you know.
They probably would have been in had they beat Auburn, even though they lost to Arizona State. They might have still been in.
I would have probably agreed.
And Wisconsin, God, did they not play Ohio State great?
Man, they come out with like their hair was on fire. They took off up and down the field. It was 14-0 like that.
Yeah.
And I thought, I went over to my sister. Well, she ain't my sister, but and Mark's. They were over there watching the game, and they weren't even watching the game. They were doing something else. Like, guys, you're not watching the game. You know, it's 14-0. Dude, they come back every tough time. Ohio State adjust.
Yeah, they scored them. Not scored them 27-0 in the second
It's
half.
what good coaches do. They adjust. So Wisconsin matching up with Oregon.
I'm going to take Wisconsin in it, but I do think that's going to be a very interesting and good game. I think that's one you need to tune in to.
I agree.
And the Penn State Memphis, I just want to see what Memphis, you know, UCF has played great against LSU and Auburn in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've kind of done away with this. Well, they're not a Power 5, they stink stuff.
Well, is it, though, again, a reason to say we didn't play well in the ball game because we felt disrespected during the year?
Right.
So is there that feeling for Memphis? No. I think they ought to feel excited to be in the Cotton Bowl. Cotton Bowl
They're going to be fired up for that.
in the 70s and 80s was a huge deal.
Yeah.
Alabama played it on.
Well, if you finish second in the SEC, you went to the Cotton Bowl in the 80s.
Yes.
Georgia was going to the Sugar Bowl most of the time.
Yes. We've been
Early
in a
80s.
lot of Cotton Bowls. But
Every year that Herschel was at,
except there's one team he never played, Todd.
yeah, he never played Alabama.
How about that?
We don't know. He might have rushed for 300 yards. We don't know. But we'll never know.
He's one of the greatest ever. He's a little older to me because
But
I was a Bo Jackson fan because of that age group. I was born in '77, so
I want to say one last thing. And we already know that Burrow won the Heisman, and we have no problem with that. And I was real proud to see Hurts finish second. But this running back for Wisconsin is Jonathan Taylor. He's rushed for 1,900 yards twice and 2,100 another time, and we don't even hear a whole lot about it.
You know, that's interesting.
I mean, he's done more than Herschel Walker did in his 3 years, and I think everybody's heard of Herschel Walker.
I believe so.
My grandmother knows who Herschel Walker
I probably
is.
think so. The dog walking down the street right now, get out of that garbage, get out. He knows who Herschel Walker is.
Yeah.
And it's talking about the Heisman. I brought up a topic on Facebook the other night, and I just had a snippet of the mission, the statements of the Heisman Committee, of what they look for in a Heisman winner. My opinion, and what it says nothing about stats, who's on the number one team, who's thrown the best passes, who's run the most yards. It's just talking about really intangibles and just being a good person. And I can't think of another guy that's in the Heisman candidacy there that has been through more, win two conferences at two different schools, and in the Heisman race at two different schools.
Right.
Was Jalen Hurts.
And Hurts. Yes, I would
And I'm
agree
not a
with
huge
that.
Jalen fan. I appreciated what he did at Bama, you know, for what he did, and he moved on. That's fine. I ain't got no hard wishes. He's a kid, and I hope God blesses him. He seems like a good guy. But it seems like, to me,
He fit the mold for that.
yeah, the Maxwell Awards and the O'Brien Award. The Maxwell Award is for the sports writer who they think is the best. O'Brien Award is for the best passer in the country. Joe Burrow deserved that, O'Brien.
Right.
But a Heisman has become, in the past 10 years or so,
Whoever's on the best player on the best team.
Yeah, man.
It has.
I feel like the last time Mark Ingram won it that year, and him and Gerhardt was like, it was one of the closest Heisman's ever.
Right.
That felt like a real legitimate, the last kind of Heisman, not deflating any of the guys that won after. There were some others, but that kind of seemed like in that era it kind of went away. I felt like Jalen was deserving of, by what the committee says they're looking for.
Right.
And please comment. You go on Facebook or hit us with some messages, whatever you think. We're just doing these side notes here to keep you guys interested.
Well, to lose his position.
And y'all tell us what y'all think about it.
But they've turned that way. They say that's what the Heisman's for, but the Heisman's really just who's the best player.
It's a media award.
Yeah, who's the best player. And that one, that's why we can't argue with it. Yeah.
Because this guy, Taylor.
This Jonathan Taylor's awesome.
No, nothing.
He wasn't even invited.
Didn't even talk to him.
No.
But they brought Chase Young up, defensive player. And they ain't never going to go. Defensive player's going to win no high.
Except for Charles Woodson.
But he's one of the greatest players ever played the game of football.
And he did return punts.
Yes, that's why. He was explosive like Dez was.
Right.
When he was there and he won it. Desmond Howard.
Right.
One
of the first route. Yeah, one of the first. There haven't been many receivers win it, but he did.
Yeah. So anyway, the topics again, talking about Drew Brees, Tom Brady, is when those old guys.
Those type of guys over with.
Is that done?
Right.
And LeBron, is he he's not load managing, like Kawhi is. Is this his last run? Is he saying, hey, I'm going to show out?
Right.
Dude, I'm going to blow it up this year. I'm going to go out on top. 18 playoff, we disagree. I don't like it. I think it takes some of the shine away. Todd thinks it adds to the excitement of the game to add some more teams to it. And it is good for kids to be excited, but
right.
put them in their bowl games. I like the Alamo Bowl, Utah, Texas. It's December 31st. Todd's looking at the Cotton Bowl was underrated. Penn State, Memphis. We'd like to see how Memphis shines in that game.
Right. I'd just like to see how they measure up. Because Penn State's good. I mean, they played with Ohio State.
They're a legendary program, no doubt. No doubt.
And James Franklin's done a good job up there.
Yeah, Coach of the Year for sure. He's definitely done a good job up there for years.
Yeah.
And he recruits pretty good in that area for what they got. And they just come off a big stint of probation and all that Joe Paul stuff, and I hated all that happened. Man, that was terrible. All that stuff happened. God, what a terrible mess.
Oh, it was.
Anyway, we're going to leave you guys with that. Again, we thank you all very much.
Respond to this stuff. It's pretty interesting. And
there's not a wrong answer.
There's not a wrong answer.
No.
We're not saying we got the right answer.
No, not at all. We're just dabbling.
Just posing questions.
Yes, and whatever y'all think, please hit us up on Facebook. You can find the show. It's the Matt and Todd Show. And on Instagram. I'm always posting stuff on there. Find us on there. Look us up. Again, God bless y'all. Thank you for listening. Thank you, everybody in Cherokee County. Worldwide, hey, we're WDKR.org. There could be a guy in Italy right now.
Yeah, maybe.
Wanting to learn about the Drew Brees fighting for 551 touchdown.
Is that from Italy?
I don't know.
I think that's Afghani.
I think I've been up too long. I'm tired, man. It's been a long day. Thank you guys for tuning in. WDKR, thank you. And we'll, God bless you. Merry Christmas. And we'll catch y'all next week. Peace out.